Hello, I'm Han Kim. I'm the director of a global MBA program at Ross School of Business. I also was the person who founded this program. First of all, I would like to thank our alumni members of Ross School in Japan for spreading good words about Ross, and as well as spreading the Ross spirit throughout Japan. And I thank you for that very much. And as for the entering class of 2012, I very much look forward meeting you in Narita in February and work together um, for the next 16 months. I think there are many different features, but a couple of things that really stand out is that our emphasis on teamwork. This is a place for you to come if you are interested in learning how to uh, have the team spirit in your work environment. That's our number one priority. And another distinguishing feature is that we emphasize both theory and practice. Some schools emphasize theory, some schools emphasize practice through case studies. We do both. We believe theory is important, but it is equally important to learn how the theory is being practiced. So that's the second feature that I believe Ross School stands out. I think the program is unique and distinguished from other programs because the program is tailor-made for Asian employees with proven track record of demonstrating their leadership potential. Uh, because the program is tailor-made, it is much easier for Asian business employees to make a transition from being an Asian company employee to MBA students. I emphasize the word student in America. So there is a double transition to be made. One from being an employee to student, the other one is from being in Japan to being in the US. So those double transition tends to make it pretty hard. And what we do here, we tailor make our program to make that transition as smooth as possible. That's number one. Uh, and I think another distinguishing feature is that this is a program designed for company-sponsored employees. Therefore, from company perspective, it is very important to minimize the opportunity cost of having their best employees away from the job. So to meet that purpose, the program is somewhat intense, but much shorter. You can finish the whole program in 16 months, which translate from company perspective, substantial saving in opportunity cost of having their best employees away from the job. I was traveling back and forth between US and Japan and other parts of Asia. And one thing I noticed is that Asian companies, especially Japanese companies, are very good in manufacturing. But I noticed that when it comes to managerial skills, that they were not as developed as their manufacturing superiority. So I really wanted to help improve the managerial aspects of Japanese and other Asian companies. And I wanted to have an impact. So how do I have an impact in a relatively short period of time? Recruit MBA students who currently work in Japanese companies who will go back and who are in a position to make an immediate impact in transforming the company into better manage the company that can compete effectively globally. And that is that was what compelled me to start this program. I wanted to make sure that Japanese and other Asian companies are on the equal playing level with the rest of the world in this highly competitive global business environment. I believe the best way to learn about other country is to live and experience the local culture. And I thought the best way is just to go there as a group and stay for a month, uh, learning things not only from the class, but also outside of the class through local travels and so forth. And the second motive for having that kind of structure is by living and moving together. Okay, it can help create this RAS GMBA family spirit. That family spirit, I hope, will last for the rest of your career, and you all remain good friends and continuously in touch with each other. I think that would be a great asset for all of you. Well, as for the student, I expect you, of course, to do well in the classroom. But equally important is that I want you to experience American life. And the way you can really experience American life is to get involved. In getting involved in case competition, getting involved in introducing Japan to the rest of the student body, and join clubs to, uh, to, to learn more about specific topics that you're interested, as well as developing your network. I want you to develop networks not just among the GMBA students. Of course, it is very important for you to have a very strong network and relationship among the GMBA students, but I want you to also experience it more broadly and widely. And the best way to do that is to participate and get involved in everything, including social activities. Have a lot of parties as well. Don't miss out on parties. Okay, go to parties as much as you can without jeopardizing your classroom work. That is. So get involved and do as much as you can, because 2 years is very short, and you just got to fully exploit that 2 years to the maximum you can. And as for the alumni, I thank you all. I really appreciate your involvement in promoting RAS and spreading the good name by doing good work in your companies and to the Japanese society. If there is one thing I, I feel somewhat uneasy about, is that Japan is the number two economy in the world. Maybe it will become number three soon, but nevertheless, it's the major player, it's the number two player in the world economy. Yet, I feel Japan is somewhat underrepresented in the RAS school and RAS alumni network, especially in Japan. So perhaps our name recognition is not as well known in Japan as it is in the rest of the world. So I want you to help us to spread the good words about RAS to the entire Japan, and I want to see Japanese student enrollment in RAS to increase. And I want equal representation of Japanese students and alumni in the RAS School of Business. Well, one thing about Japanese economy and the business I have noticed is that Japanese companies do things very thorough, which gives them advantage when it comes to manufacturing. But I also noticed that Japanese business tend to be rather conservative, and they are somewhat slower than, say, other countries in terms of adapting to changes uh, in what's going on in this rest of the world, that all Japanese companies must compete. And what I expect students to do when they return is to be the catalyst in introducing the change that will help Japanese companies remain competitive with the with the other companies in the global marketplace. See, notice that the things are changing so fast, especially in the technological and information technology area. The things are just moving so fast. You cannot predict what's going to happen in a couple of months. Okay? So in order for you to predict and react, not only react, but proact, you just got to be the, have this mind to change and adapt to changes. And what I really want all of you to do is be the catalyst for changes. And that's my number one objective. And I hope you help me in accomplishing that objective. Well, I think what we are most interested in students is the good leadership potentials. Yes, it is true that you need to have a decent English skills to make a productive participation in the classroom. Those things you can learn and improve. And that's what we are supposed to help you achieve too. But I think the most important thing is the personalities, positive personalities that are willing to help others and that are willing to contribute to your companies when you return and to the society, to the Japanese society when you return. And that positive personality, willingness to do things for others, that is what we really look for. Well, I believe I have covered most of the topics, so I have very little left to say. Um, First of all, I believe alumni should be very proud of Roscoe and its tradition and what we have done for the society and for the nation and for the world. And as for the students, this is the place to come if you are interested in theory and in learning how the theory is practiced. And this is the place to come if you are a team-oriented person who is interested in action learning. As for the new incoming students, I just can't wait to meet you on February 27th. I very much look forward to meeting you and working with you. Thank you.